Welcome students, Standard 12th, Chapter 3, Designing Simple Website Using KompoZer. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 we studied KompoZer, we studied how to create simple form. Chapter 2 we studied how to use CSS, that is cascading style sheet. We also see how to use JavaScript, and if you remember, using JavaScript we validated the entire form data. So that was chapter 1 and 2. Now chapter 3, we are giving one example where we create an entire e-commerce website using KompoZer. But there are few other topics also in chapter 3, and let us discuss those topics. Introduction of the chapter is like a website, as you know, you would be knowing all these things, that a website plays an important role in a business nowadays. You know that nowadays most of the businesses which are running, they have their website, and you know the importance of the website for that business. At every business they have their website, and that website plays an important role in their business. A website helps in promoting business, selling products, and attracting large number of customers. Now when we say it helps in promoting business, because when you have a website, your website can reach to any part of the world. So it promotes your business around the globe. Selling the product, it also helps in selling the products, because now there is no limited or boundary, geographical limitations. You can sell through your website to any part of the world. So your selling the product also increases, and ultimately you attracting large number of customers. If you don't have website, and if you have normal traditional business, then you have very limited customer base. Maybe the customer base of the area where your shop is, or the customer base of that city. But when you have a website, and when you are selling through website, your customer base is almost the entire world. A website is a collection of interlinked web pages for a specific purpose. This is very important to understand what we call a website. A website is nothing but collection of so many web pages which are interlinked, where links are given so that we can jump from one page to another page of our choice, and all those pages which are coming under one website are for one specific purpose. So a website is a collection of interlinked web pages for a specific purpose. A website should be designed in such a way that the users find it informative and like to visit it repeatedly. See, the main purpose of website is to attract the visitors, to attract those who are coming on your website in such a way that they visit your website again and again. So a website must be designed in such a way that user finds it very informative and they would like to visit it again and again. So that is the main goal of creating website. A website should increase customer base if the site is a commercial, and if your site is commercial, means the website is selling some product, then the main purpose of the website would be to increase the customer base, so that more and more customer come to that website and they make some purchase from the website. So that is what the main purpose of the e-commerce website or the commercial site. And how we can achieve that? So we can achieve that if proper care is taken at the time of designing the website. While designing the website, we need to take proper care. And if that proper care is taken, then that website will attract thousands and millions of customers around the world. Now let us see what care to be taken while designing website. So planning for the website. So it says that planning a website it's a project similar to any other project, and that requires a detailed planning. So designing a website or developing a website is also like any other project which requires so much of research, and then to implement those results of those research work into action. So developing a website is a project similar to any other project, and it requires detailed planning. And better the planning, the chances of success in terms of usefulness of the website is higher, and that we understand. Better the planning for any project. For any project, if you have better planning, then there are chances of success of that particular project to be executed successfully. So with website also. If we plan for designing website properly, then there are chances that our website will be very successful website and it will attract more and more customer around the world. So it will increase the customer base. So let us understand the points that we should consider, or rather the website developer should consider for designing and developing a good website as a part of planning process. So there are certain points given in the textbook where it discusses that if those points are taken in consideration by the website designer, then the successful website can be easily created or developed. So let us see those points. So website planning contains 4 points. If we start from the upper left, it is purpose of the website. Second is the target audience who is going to see your website. Third is the content of the website. And fourth is the medium of the website. These are the 4 points one should keep in mind while planning for a website. And if you want a successful website, planning a successful website, you must follow these 4 points very seriously. Now let us discuss all these points one by one. Purpose of the website. The purpose of the website should be clearly identified. That is very simple thing. You know that when you do any project, first you must be clear with the purpose why you want to do that project. So the purpose of the website planning should be very clearly identified. You must know that what you want to achieve by designing this website, or what you want to do, why you want to design this website. So the purpose must be very clearly identified. The content and layout of the website can be properly developed only and only if the purpose is clear. If your purpose is clear that for what purpose you are designing website, then only the content of the website and the layout of the website can be properly designed. So you must be clear with the purpose of the website designing. A properly designed website will be helpful to the organization for which organization the website is designed or developed. So a properly designed website will helpful for the organization to promote their activity, their business, or whatever purpose they are serving through the website. So remember, if you want any organization that website be helpful to that organization, then the purpose of the website must be clearly identified by the organization, and then accordingly it should be designed. Now what that purpose may be? So the purpose may be to provide information to a group of people. See, different people has got different purpose for designing website. Some just wants to provide information to a group of people. Some may wants to attract new customers, that is e-commerce website, Flipkart, the Amazon. Their purpose is to attract new customers for business. Whereas providing information to a group of people, there are many websites where you just get some information. If you stuck somewhere and if you want to know some details about particular topic, then there are many websites which will give you the detailed information about that topic. And to sell the product online, there are again websites who are selling products online, that also they attract new consumer and new customer. But the purpose is different. See, you must be knowing there are many websites where they just allow user to download free software. There are many websites which allows to download free music, free video, or they just allow you to view videos, YouTube and like that. So every website has a different purpose. But before you design website, the purpose of the website must be clear to you. Then only you can design the website properly. Moving over to next step, after purpose is the audience, or you can even say target audience. Audience or target audience means who is going to see your website. As you know that in this world, everybody is not watching every website. Everybody has their own taste, their own liking, own dislike. So everybody following certain kinds of or certain types of website. So website designer should know that who is the target audience, which group of people is going to see this website. So that is called audience. So it is important to know the user's expectation, the target user's expectations, and also to know the expected users of the website. It is not necessary that everybody is going to see your website. Suppose there is a website where all the nursery rhymes are there, and with some good animation the nursery rhymes are given. So we know that who is the target audience. Business people are not going to see such website because it is not useful for them. So every website should know the expected user who is going to see the website, and we should also know what is the expectation of the users, expected user. So our target audience, what they are expecting from us, that we should know. Website should contain two types of information: general information and detailed information. So general and detailed, two types of information a website should contain, so that depending on the user, some just wants some general information about certain topics, they can go to general topics, and some wants some detailed information, they can also get their answers or their queries solved. So it should also contain specific as well as non-specific data also. Now it is important to know users' expectations, as it helps to develop the appropriate content and layout. As I said, nursery rhyme website, if I don't know that who is going to see this website, I may design that website differently, which may not attract kids of lower KG and higher KG or the lower standard students. So if I know that this website is going to be watched or used by students going to kindergarten or a lower standard school students, then I will design that website accordingly, where there is less writing and more graphics and animation. So it is important to know users' expectations because it helps to develop the appropriate content and layout. To know the speed of connection that the expected users will have, and accordingly the website should contain minimal required graphics and multimedia files. So that is again very important to know, that whichever part of the audience they are going to see this website, what kind of internet connection they will be having. So accordingly we design website. Let me give you one simple example. If somebody is designing a website for farming, how to do farming so that you can take maximum crops around the year. Now we know that this website is mostly viewed by the farmers who are staying in the interior part, rural area. So where there may be less connection speed, internet connection may be slow, or connection may be not stable. So such website should contain minimal graphics and minimal multimedia file, so that they can open that website easily, and then they can serve the purpose, or they can see the website properly. So it should contain, I don't say that website should not be having any kind of graphics or multimedia file. That is a must nowadays, because everybody likes graphics and multimedia file website. If the website is having only text, nobody likes that. But it should have minimal, the required graphics and multimedia file. So it is desirable that the website should contain minimal required graphics and multimedia file, which is required by the user to see. And by knowing the user's area, from which area or which part they will be viewing this website, what kind of internet connection they will be having, and what kind of devices also they will be having to view the website. So that is to find the target audience. If I know the target audience, if I know that this video is watched by 12th standard student, then I will accordingly explain the topics. If I know that this video is watched by the 4th and 5th standard student, the explanation style and everything will be different. So I should know the target audience. Then accordingly only I can design the website. Third topic is content of the website. One of the most important part of any website is its content. Website should contain complete and relevant information. Remember, there should not be incomplete information and there should not be irrelevant information. If you talk irrelevant on your website, people will not see that website again. So it must contain complete and relevant information. And the content should be classified as general and detailed categories, as we discussed previously also. The general content provides an overview of the site, and the detailed content provides users with the detailed information on the site, like product and service description and etc. So it's the choice of the choice should be given to the viewer of the website whether he or she wants general content or he or she wants detailed content of the website. But whatever may be the content, it must be complete and relevant. Text paragraphs should be kept at reasonable length. You will never see any website where there is a paragraph as big as your screen. It is advisable that if you want to keep the interest of the viewer on your website, then the paragraphs should be broken into smaller length so that viewer will have interest on reading the paragraph. The website navigation should also be made as easy as possible. Now, what is navigation? Navigation means moving from one page to another page of the website. You know that most of the website they give you the link to go on the top to go to the particular FAQ answer. So that navigation must be properly designed, or navigation should be made as easy so that user should not get lost on your website. એવું ન થવું જોઈએ કે યુઝરને પછી ખબર ન પડે how to go back to the home page. So the navigation should also be made as easy as possible for the user. The website composed of right material or right content is a valuable tool for business and other organizations. So if it is made with the right material, right content, it is definitely a valuable tool for the business and other organization. So remember, content of the website is the most important. If the website contains incomplete and irrelevant information, people will never come to that website again next time. So next thing to keep in mind while designing website is medium of the website. Now before we discuss medium of the website, let me quickly revise what other points we need to keep in mind, because these previous 3 points are very important. The very first is the purpose of the website. When you decide to design a website, when you decide to create your own website for your business or your personal use, the first and very important thing is to decide the purpose of the website, that for what purpose you want to design the website. The content and layout of the website can be properly developed only and only if your purpose is clear. Whether you want to give some free software to the viewer, whether you want to give some research work to the viewer, whether you want to give some downloadable form to the user, what kind of information you want to provide to the user through your website, that is decided by your purpose of the website. And a properly designed website will be helpful to the organization always. Audience is again one of the most important point to keep in mind while designing website. It is important to know that who is going to see your website, because every website, as I said previously also, every website is not watched or seen by everybody. Everybody has their own liking and disliking. Everybody has their own area of interest. So your website, when you design, should know that who you are targeting, whom you are targeting through this website. Are you targeting youngsters? Are you targeting those who are in research work? Are you targeting those who are seeking some information on universities? So what kind of information you are providing and what kind of audience is going to see this content, that is target audience. So it is very important, and knowing only target audience is not important. You must know their geographical location, whether the area from where they will be accessing the website will have proper internet connection, fast internet connection will be there or not, so that accordingly you can put the different kinds of multimedia and graphics in your website. So again, audience is very important. To know the gender of the audience, to know the education background of the audience, everything is very important while designing website, so that the proper audience can accept that website and understand that website and can view that website properly. Again, it should contain general and detailed information also, so that those who wants to just have an overview of that topic can go to the general topic, and those who wants to go in detail then can go and access the detailed information about that particular topic. So audience is also very important. Content is again one of the important point. Remember, content makes the visitor revisit again your website. It is only the content which makes or attracts the viewer to come to the website another time, next time, again and again, again and again. It is totally based on content. If I am looking for a definition of any scientific terminologies, and if I go to a particular website and if I find the proper explanation of that terminologies, then I will remember that website, and next time whenever I need to search for any particular scientific information or terminologies to be explained, I will remember that website. So it is because of the content. It must be complete and relevant to that topic. If it is incomplete or if it is irrelevant, people will not trust that website and will never visit that website again. So content is very important. You might have seen in novel that a paragraph spanning over 3-4 pages, but when it is website, you should see that you are keeping the paragraph at reasonable length. After a certain length of the paragraph, you are breaking it and starting a new paragraph so that the user's interest is kept on the website. Navigation is also very important for any website. When you have a big website where there are hundreds of web pages, so there are chances that the viewer may get lost in your website, that from where they came to this page and how to go to home page and how to go to that particular information on that website. That all depends on how navigation is given, and navigation is created using different meaningful links which takes you to the home page, which takes you to the top of the page, and all this thing. You know that when you go to a very good e-commerce website and you are browsing through many products, and then you see one button which will take you on the top, so that you don't need to scroll again and again to go to the top of the website page. So navigation is again very important. It makes viewing experience of visitors smooth. So content is also important, one of the most important part of the planning for the website. And the last is medium. What is medium? Here medium doesn't mean English medium or Gujarati medium or like. Medium means through which medium people are accessing website. You know that previously, before decades, people were visiting website only through desktop computers. But now, at present, you know that websites are being viewed using internet through smartphones, tablets, laptop, desktop, many different devices they are using for viewing the website. At the same time, now we have variety of choices for the browser also. Some might be using Chrome, some might be using Mozilla Firefox, some might be using Opera, some might be using Internet Explorer, or maybe some other browser, UC browser or other browsers. So your website design should scale for all these devices like computer, laptop, tablets, and etc. And also it should be designed keeping in mind that it is well displayed in all the popular web browsers which are available currently in the market. So that is medium. If I design a website, e-commerce website, and if that website is not accessible through mobile, then it is a failure. If I design a website and if that website gives totally different kind of output in Chrome, then it gives in Mozilla, then again it's a failure of the website. So your website should give same output whether it is viewed by desktop, laptop or smartphone or tablets, or whether it is viewed using the different web browsers like Mozilla or Chrome or Opera or Internet Explorer. So the medium of the website viewing is also a very important point to keep in mind. So these are the 4 points to keep in mind while designing website. Now next is an example where we create a simple e-commerce website using KompoZer. Here I have shown the layout of the website which is given in the textbook. As you can see, a simple e-commerce website name is School Plaza, and as you can see, it has the heading of the website School Plaza. Besides it, there is a picture Down is the main content of the website. You see the categories where different categories are there. That is school bags and lunchbox and other things. So many things. So it's a primarily this is a website where school going students can make some purchase related to school, like school bags and compass box and books and other things like which they need for the school activity, like lunch box and water bottle and other things. As you can see, on the other side is new products. So the website shows the new products which have been launched by the website, and for every product you will observe that there is a photograph of the product, name of the product. For example, if we take the first one, then the name of the product is girls pink bag. Then next it displays the price of that product. In this case it is rupees 399. Then there is one interesting thing, and that is a checkbox. A checkbox where it gives option to the user. If user wants to purchase this, user will click on that, and that checkbox says add to cart. You know that when you are purchasing something online, there is something called cart. The cart is same as in our physical shopping. જે આપણે ટ્રોલી લઈએ છીએ, when we go for big bazaar or DMart shopping, we have that cart or the trolley where we put all the products which we want to purchase. Similarly, on website we have add to cart button. So if you want to purchase that product, you put a tick mark on that. Below that there is one more thing, and that is quantity. You may want to purchase more quantity of that particular product, so you can type the quantity over there in the quantity box. So that is how you make purchase, by going to different pages and selecting different products. Down, if you see, though the image is not very clear, but you see a purchase button, or if you refer to the textbook you can see it clearly. So there is a purchase button where user is supposed to click once he or she has finalized what he or she wants to purchase from the website. Once you click on the purchase button, and if you have selected at least one item, then it will show you the bill. So in right hand side you can see the bill page. On the bill page, as you can see, it gives you description, that is the name of the product which you want to purchase, the price of that product, the quantity which you have selected, and the total, and then finally grand total of total quantities and grand total of total. So this is how we will be creating e-commerce website. So there are basically two pages. One page where it shows all the products, other page where the bill comes. For product, there may be multiple pages for multiple product. As you can see on the left hand side in under categories, you have school bags. So one page is for school bag, one page is for water bottle, one page is for lunch box, one page is for compass box, one page is for stationery, again one page for files and folders, and one page for books. So when you go to all these different pages and make some purchase by clicking on add to cart button, and then noting down or writing the quantity which you want to purchase for that particular product, and then finally when you click on purchase button, it will give you this billing page. Remember, this is a sample and very simple e-commerce website. Here we will not be able to include all those things where you make payment, online payment or net banking payment, because that is not possible to be included in your curriculum, because for that so you need actual website, you need actual tie-up with Visa and MasterCard and other banks, which is not possible. But ultimately it shows you a highlight of how an e-commerce website is created, where products are there and billing is there. So let us see that further. So for creating a homepage of a website. Now homepage, the word is not new. All of you know about homepage. All of you know that homepage is the page which opens when you open any website for the first time. So whenever you open any website by giving its URL, the first page which comes on screen is called its home page. So the home page of a website is the first page that opens when user enters the URL address in the address bar of the browser. To create website, various designs, templates, that is called templates, are freely available on internet. What does this mean? This means that you don't need to do lot of things for designing your website. There are many ready-made design available online. You can download those designs, as in the case of PowerPoint. You know, in PowerPoint, for every slide, there are different layouts available for the slides, so that you don't need to design that slide from the scratch. You just need to enter the data. For same purpose, for website or creating web pages, there are so many templates available online, which you can download and then change the content wherever, whatever text and whatever image you want to insert, you insert, but you don't need to design it. Design is already available. So such templates are freely available on internet. You can download many templates and then you can use it for your website creation. We will insert, right? Textbook is not showing any example of where you download any template and use it. Rather, textbook is explaining you everything from scratch, that how to create the home page and other pages of the website. So it says that we will insert a table with single cell to create our website. So remember, this entire layout of the website, this which you see here on left hand side, a simple e-commerce website, School Plaza, is entirely created using HTML table. It is HTML table only, which is having another tables, and again inside there is another table. So nested table inside another table. So for creating such website, we will take use of HTML table, and we will insert a table. First table, that is the very first table, is one of one, that is one by one row, one column. And for inserting that, you go to insert and table. So it will give you insert table dialog box, which is on the left hand side of present screen. Remember, board is one or two times they have asked very detailed like question which we generally don't expect to be in the board exam, and that is like insert table dialog box shows how many ways of creating table. So using insert table dialog box, we can create table using three different methods. One is quickly, second is precisely, and third is cell. Quickly, precisely, and cell. Even you remember this also, because one time board has even asked the question like, which of the following options do you see in the insert table dialog box? So we see options like quickly, precisely, and cell. But we will be going to the quickly option for creating table very quickly, and as you can see, we will be creating one by one table. The very first table would be one by one, only one row, one column. That is as good as a big square. So that is one by one table. Then while saving the web page using KompoZer, you need to remember to give a suitable title of the web page. The title is very important, because that is the title which will be shown on the title bar of the website when somebody opens your website. So title should not be blank, you should not avoid writing title, and it should be something meaningful, so that by looking at the title also, people can understand what kind of website it is. Or there is another thing also, that when your browser is minimized on the taskbar, then also from that you can see the title. It shows the title on the minimized form of the website, so that if anybody wants, there are multiple web pages open, and then anybody wants to open a particular web page, then from that title they can easily open the web page. So writing title is very important thing for any website. We need to also remember to save the home page as index.html. This is very important point, because as we discussed previously, when somebody opens any website, he or she will write only the URL of the website, as it is shown in the fourth point. You may open School Plaza by just typing www www.schoolplaza.com. Now we are not mentioning any file name over here. What we are just mentioning is the name of the website, that is called domain name. Now when you open a website using just the name of the website, that is the domain name, browser gets confused that which file to open, because on a website there may be so many pages. So which web page to open when user enters only URL or the domain name. So it is said that by default it will open home page, and it understands that only when home page name is given unique, and that is index.html. So generally whenever we create the home page of a website, it is named as index.html. Every website is built inside directories on a web server, and each web page is a separate file on that web server that you know very well. Suppose your website contains 15 web pages, that means there are 15 different files. There are 15 different files because each web page is considered as one file. So that every website is a collection of web pages that you know. Website is a collection of web pages, and individual web pages of same websites are stored inside a directory on web server, and then they have separate file name. So that is what about creating homepage of a website. Once again, the last point we will go through, that whenever user types the URL of the website in the browser, for example www.yahoo.com or www.schoolplaza.com or anything, he or she doesn't specify the file name to be opened, but the web server needs a default file name in order to display something on screen. So this default file is index.html, and that is the home page for the website using KompoZer. Now when user enters URL address in the address bar, the home page of the website opens. That is what we discussed, and the name of the home page must be index.html. I'm repeating this because this is very important for you to remember, that the home page name must be index.html, no matter who is designing website. Every website, you know that every website has a home page, and that name of that home page should always be index.html. So is the default file name, and when URL is entered without any name, the home page will open. Now working with table. So before we see practically how this website is created using table, first let us see few points about table or creating table in KompoZer. So to open table properties, once you entered table in your KompoZer file, and to open table properties dialog box, either you right click the table and select table cell properties, or you can double click the table. So either you right click or you double click. Now why we need to go to table properties dialog box? To fine tune our table. The table which we are creating, if you want to fine tune that table, if you want to make some changes in that default table which KompoZer has created, then we need to go to the properties of the table. And for that, what we do is we right click on the table and select table properties dialog box or option, or we go to double clicking the table and then open table properties dialog box. Now when table properties dialog box opens, it has two tabs, table and cells, and the following options are there in the table tab, and then we will see cells tab, that is size, border and spacing, table alignment, caption and background color of the table. Let us see that. So this is what on left hand side you see the table properties dialog box. So as you can see, it has the first option is size, second is borders and spacing, then you have table alignment, and then you have background color. Even you have advanced edit also, but we will not discuss much about advanced edit right now. Right now we will just discuss about the four options, and that is size, borders and spacing, table alignment, and background color. See, sometimes in board exam they ask this thing also, that borders and spacing option is in which tab of table properties dialog box. So it is in table tab of tables properties dialog box. So you need to remember this also. There is another thing also which they ask is, while defining the size of the table rows and columns, the height and width of the row and column can be given in percentage as well as in the pixels. Either you specify fixed pixels or you specify percentage compared to the entire browser window. So let us discuss all these four. The size option, as it is written on the other side. Size option. Size option shows the number of rows, columns, and height and width of the table. That how many rows you want are there, how many columns are there. As you can see right now it shows 1 1 because we have selected one by one table. So it shows you the number of rows and number of columns. It also shows you height and width of the table. Height and width can be specified in pixels or in percentage of the window. So either you specify it in pixel or you specify as a percentage. So as you can see, the one column, the width is 100% of the window. We have not specified the height. The reason is height will automatically keep on increasing as we keep on adding the content in the table. If you want to be given values to be given as pixels, then as you see on the right hand side, percentage of window, there you click and select pixels. We will see this practically also. Then the second option, borders and spacing. That border and spacing option shows the border option in case we want to give a border to the table. So if you want your table with border, you can specify the border, and border is always in pixels. If you want just a minor thin border, you give it as 1 pixels. If you want a thick border of the table, you can increase the value of the border. So that is border. Spacing is the space between cells. So there are two options in spacing. One is spacing and another is padding. You need to remember the difference between spacing and padding, because this time your syllabus is reduced. So whatever is there in your syllabus, they will ask more questions from that, because there are certain chapters which are removed. So this is only for the COVID year, I am saying. For the COVID year board exam, there are certain chapters removed and certain topics removed. So other remaining chapters and remaining topics will have more weightage. So spacing is the space between cells. So if you want to leave some space between two contiguous cells, adjacent cells, you can write spacing value. And padding is the gap between edge of the cell and text within it. So if you want to leave some minimum space between the text and the border of the cell, that is using padding. More you will understand when we will see this thing practically. But right now we remember the difference between spacing and padding. Spacing is the space between two adjacent cells, and padding is the gap between text or the content of the cell and the border of the cell. Then table alignment, which is very easy to understand. Table alignment can be left, center or right. Caption is used to give caption, the title. If you want to give caption, you select yes. If you don't want any caption, you select none. So that is caption. Caption, which is a floating text just above the table. But right now, as you can see in our website example, there is no caption which is on the table. See, this is the entire table. The entire screen is one table. This left hand side screen. So there is nothing on the table. Whatever you see is inside table. So there is no need of any caption. And background color, as again you understand it, that background color, it is used to give a background color to the table. So the entire table will have particular background color. So let the page color show through. So that is background color you select, and that color will be given as the background of the table. So these are the main four options available in table tab of table properties dialog box. They are size, borders and spacing, table alignment, caption, and background color. The second tab of table properties dialog box is cells. Cells tab also gives you different options, but the main difference between table tab and cells tab is table tab, whatever you do will apply to the entire table, whereas in cells tab, whatever you do will apply to either selected cell, selected row, or selected column. So the very first option is the selection itself, which allows you to select either row or column or individual cell. So using this, you can either format the entire row with same formatting, or you can format entire column with same formatting, or you can individual cell you can format using the selection option. So selection drop down give you three options: cell, rows, column. Size is allowing you to change the height and width of the selected item. Now here whenever I say selected item, that is either selected cell, selected row, or selected column. And as we discussed in the previous, for the table, the height and width can be specified using percentage or pixels. Content alignment. Now for content alignment, that is the content alignment of a particular row or column or a cell, where you have two types of alignment, either vertical or horizontal, or both like. So you select which alignment you want to change. For vertical you have top, bottom, middle, and for horizontal you have left, center and right. So that is content alignment. Cell style is generally not used much. Cell style is for the selection of the style for the cell, whether you want a normal cell or whether it is a header cell. So generally first row of the table may be a header row. So for that you can select cell style as header. Text wrap means વિટાળવું. So whether you want text to be wrapped around the cell, so if you say wrap around the cell, so if you select text wrap option, then if the content of the cell is bigger than the size of the cell, text will start wrapping around. So it will be like a paragraph. Automatically it will go to next line and like that. Rather than increasing the size of the cell, you are increasing the height of the cell so that text can wrap around the cell. So that is text wrap. And the last one is background color, where it is used to apply background color to the selected element, whether a selected cell or selected row or selected column. You can even make that table color show through that background color of particular cell, row or column. So you can make it little transparent also, so that if you have given here in the table tab, if you selected background color, which is the background color of entire table, and here the background color is for the background color of selected cell, selected row or selected column. So you can even make that color of the table see through the color of the cell or the row or column which you select. So these are the different options of table tab and cells tab of the table properties dialog box. Now next, you know that while working with website or creating website, we also need to insert some images in the website. So for inserting image in the website, we have image properties. So once we insert image using the image button from the composition toolbar, and then we can work with the image also with different options. So to image, once like suppose how you insert image, so you open KompoZer, and in KompoZer go to insert menu and click on image, or alternatively you can click the image icon on the composition toolbar. Both the way you can insert image. As I said initially in chapter 1, that composition toolbar is mainly showing you all those buttons of the shortcuts which we need to use quite often. So you don't need to go to insert menu and select image option. You can directly click on the image icon on the composition toolbar of KompoZer. Now once you click on the image icon on the composition toolbar, it will display image properties dialog box. Now this image properties dialog box has got 4 tabs: location, dimensions, appearance and link. Let us first quickly understand this, and then in detail we will go for all these tabs. The image location, the first tab, is to specify the path of the image where the image is lying in your computer. So you select that image. Alternate text is one another option which will display the text in case for any reason image is not available. Custom size option, which is in dimension tab of the image properties dialog box, and it has two main options: width and height, to control the size of the image. These are some of the very important attributes or the options of different tabs of image properties dialog box. But let us see all those options in detail. The first tab, location tab. Location tab has got 4 different values which it requires from the user. First one is image location, which we discussed. It is used to select the image to be inserted in the web page. As you see, there is a folder icon on the right hand side of the image location box. Using that button, you can select the image from your computer and that location will be then inserted. Second is tooltip, which is very interesting. Tooltip is used to specify the text that appears when user positions mouse on the image. When you hover your mouse on the image which is already inserted on the web page, on the tail of the mouse you see some text written. So that is tooltip. You might have seen on most of the website that when you move your mouse on particular image, some text appears at the tail of the mouse pointer. That is tooltip. It is very interesting because user will understand about that image using that tooltip option. Alternate text, it is used to specify the text that appears if for any reason the image is not displayed on the web page. For any reason, image may not be existing at the location where you initially saved it, and if image is replaced from that location or the name of the image is changed or anything has happened to that image, and for any reason if that image is not being displayed on the website or web page, then the viewer of the website should not get confused. Okay, what is the reason and what was supposed to be here? So if you write in alternate text is that Swaminarayan temple, and if you are displaying the image of Swaminarayan temple, then for any reason if that image is not displayed, then it will show the text Swaminarayan temple, so that at least viewer of the website will understand that here it was supposed to be an image of Swaminarayan temple, but for any reason that image is not being displayed. If you don't want to specify the alternate text, you have option to select that don't use alternate text. So you select this if you don't want to specify the alternate text. Down you have image preview. If you selected certain image, then preview will be shown at the image preview. So this is location dialog box, or rather location tab of image properties dialog box. Then we have dimensions tab. Dimensions tab, that is the second tab of image properties dialog box. There we have main 3 options. The first one is actual size. It is used when we don't want to change the size of the image which we are inserting in the web page, and we want to keep the original size. Whatever is the original size of the image, the same image size we want to keep it on the web page, then we select actual size. So it will keep the original size of the image, no change. It will not reduce the size, nor it will enlarge the size. So that is actual size. If you don't want actual size, which actually happens in most of the cases, because we will be having an image which is quite big, But when we want to display it on a website, we reduce the size. So then we go for the option that is custom size. So custom size option, it is used to specify the custom size as per our requirement. So we specify the height and width of the image, that how big image or how small image or what size of the image we want to display in web page, on the web page. We may specify the values in pixels as well as in percentage format. So either you specify pixels or you specify percentage. You also see there is one more option, and that is constraint. It is used when we want height and width to be changed proportionally so that the image dimension will remain same. So whatever is the height, if you change the width, height will change automatically in proportion with the width. So the proportion of the image will not change. So if you change the height, width will automatically change, or if you change width, height will automatically change. But it will happen only when you have selected constraint option. But if you want to change the height and width according to your wish, then you may remove the option constraint. But remember, doing that will make that image look non-realistic, because if you have vertical image and if you stretch it width-wise only and don't change the height, then you know that the figure or images will appear thicker, like it will not look real. So just see that whether you want to have the proportional changing of height and width, then you select constraint option, which is by default selected only. So that is second tab of image properties dialog box. The third tab, that is appearance tab. It has mainly two options. The appearance tab. Spacing. The first one is spacing, where you have three options. Now this spacing is used to specify the empty space on around the image. So you can decide the empty space, how much empty space you want to leave on left and right, as well as how much empty space you want on top and bottom of the image. So you cannot have different spacing on left side and right hand side. It will be same for both, and you cannot have different spacing for top and bottom. That will remain same. But you can have different for left right and different for top bottom. So you may want 10 pixels blank space on left and right and 20 pixels blank space on top and bottom, that you can do. And the third option in spacing is solid border. So solid border option, you can specify the thickness of the border around the image. If you want to put a border around the image, you can specify that border thickness by specifying the values in pixels. So more the pixels, thicker the border will come around the image. So spacing is used to give or decide the blank space around image, as well as to specify the solid border around the image. On right hand side you see another option, and that is align text to image. When you say align text to image and you click on the drop down menu, you will get four options, or rather five options, which is used to decide the alignment of the image on the web page with respect to the text around that image. So either you put the image at the top of the text, or in the center of the text, or at the bottom of the text, or wrap the text to left hand side of the image, or wrap the text to the right hand side of the image. So it's up to you how you want to wrap the text or where you want to keep the text and image in your web page. But remember, there are five options given: at the top, at the center, at the bottom, wrap to the left, and wrap to the right. So if you see right now, the screen which you see, though it is prepared in PowerPoint, but it can be an example of wrap to right, because here image is on left hand side and on right hand side the text is wrapped. So that is what the option about align text to image. As you can see in this screen, I have even shown the image preview also. and I have kept the actual size, that is 300 pixels by 300 pixels. So that is what the tab, location tab, dimensions tab and appearance tab. Link tab I have not shown here. Link tab is used when you want to link that image with other thing. If you want to create a link on the image, so that if anybody clicking on that image will open a new link, then you can specify the link location for that image using link tab. But right now it is not required, but there is nothing much also in that. You can easily explore that also, but it is only used when you want user to click on the image as a link. So that is link given to the image. So these are the four tabs of image properties dialog box. They are again like table properties dialog box, very interesting and very useful while working with image. Now let us see something very interesting. These three things which you see on screen, they are about JavaScript, and you need to understand these three things properly, because these are something very interesting which makes your web page more meaningful and interactive. The first, see, there are three different things, like one is attribute, one is method, and one is property. Now let us see how. First one is the ID attribute. Now what is the use of ID attribute? ID attribute is used to specify a unique ID for an HTML document or HTML element. For any HTML document or HTML element. So it is same as a name attribute, which gives a unique identity. But ID attribute has some more advanced methods and properties available. So we use ID attribute whenever we want to refer to any particular location on a web page, then that web page location should have a unique ID. So that ID attribute is used to specify a unique ID for HTML elements and documents. Second is a method. Get element by ID is a method. Now first question it may come in mind, that how do we understand that ID is an attribute and get element by ID is a method? Remember, it may be any language. Methods are always followed by bracket, as you see here. Get element by ID is followed by bracket. So method or function, whatever you say, both are same. They are always followed by bracket. And another thing to observe is JavaScript being case sensitive language, get element by ID, you see all the words first characters are capital except the first word. So get is in small letter, then element E is capital, by B is capital, ID, full ID is capital, because ID is actually short form for full for other word. So that is ID is full. So this is what the name of the method. Now what this method is doing, it is used to access the first element with the specified ID. So whatever ID you specify in the bracket, it will try to access the first element on the web page with the same ID. So that is get element by ID method. Third thing is inner HTML. Again, observe over there, inner being the first word is in small letter. HTML, because it is a short form for hypertext markup language, so all the four characters are in capital. So inner HTML, it's a property and it is used to set or return inner HTML of an element. So it will either set or it will return inner HTML. Now what is inner HTML? We'll understand it with an example only. This is the example to understand what we studied in previous slide, that is these three things: ID, get element by ID and inner HTML. Simple program I had written. This program is not in the textbook, so please follow this program properly to understand further things in textbook. As you see, the first line HTML, then head, then script, and then function we have written. We will not discuss this function right now. First we will go to body section, and in body section if you see, I had written computer and I have wrapped computer with a bold tag. So B and /b, and in between I had written computer. Now for B tag, I had given ID as CHG. It can be anything, whatever you want. ID can be given any, but it should be a single word. I had given the ID as CHG. That means the computer word, when it is displayed on web page, it will have his or its ID as CHG. So we can refer to that word on screen using CHG. Then I had created one button. So input type is equal to button. This is a user defined button. So type is equal to button. Here I have not written type is equal to radio or submit or type is equal to reset. But because we want to create a user defined button, so I had said input type is equal to button on click, means whenever user clicks on this button, it will execute a function called change, and value of the button is change. So it will display like this. Computer will be displayed in bold letter and there will be a change button. Now what is written in the change method? So here again we come back to head section where function change is written. So function change, and what is written in function change is simple one line, and it says document dot get element by id chg dot inner html is equal to Nayan Shah. Means document is web page, get element by id chg means those element whose id is chg. So which element is having id chg? Computer. Dot inner html means what is written at place of that id will be changed to Nayan Shah. So now let us see the code in Notepad. The same code is here in Notepad. As you see, HTML head script, function change. What is in function change? Then document.get element by id chg dot inner html is equal to Nayan Shah slash script slash head, and in body we have created b tag with id is equal to chg. What it contains is computer, word computer, and then slash b, and then we have break one 3 blank line, and then we created this button where we say type is equal to button, on click it will execute change method, and value of the button is change. What comes because of this on screen is this. Let me refresh it. So by default computer is written, it is written in bold letter. There is a change button. As I click on change button, as you see here, as you click on change button, it will trigger on click event. And when on click event is triggered, it will execute change method. And when it will execute change method or change function, it will change this ID with Nayan Shah. So let us see, if I click on this change button, the things changes to Nayan Shah. Again, if you refresh the page, it becomes computer. Again, you click on change button, it changes text to Nayan Shah. So this is what the best example to understand get element by ID, then inner HTML, and ID is equal to CHG. ID, which is used to specify the identification of the particular object on HTML document. Get element by ID is used to refer to that any particular object with specific ID, and inner HTML is used to change or to refer to the web page content which is certain specific ID. So these are the three very interesting and very important thing of JavaScript. We also saw it practically here using this. As you can even create another button where you click on that button and this Nayan Shah will change again to another text. So that is what you can do, but because this is just for your example to refer to, we have created this simple file. I hope you understood this. Next lecture we will go move further with this, and we will see how we can use KompoZer for creating website, and for that you need at least this 6 or 7 menu option to remember That to insert table, you can click on insert menu of KompoZer and then select table. Same for image, insert image. For inserting horizontal line, again insert menu. To change page title, go to format menu and select page title and properties. To publish website, once the website is ready, go to file menu and select publish. To give text color, you go to format menu and select text color. And for inserting link, you can create link using going to insert menu and selecting link. If you want to see all these options, let us see just once. Insert, you have this image, table, form, link and other things. This then format menu, you have this format page colors and background, format page titles and properties. So all these things are available in this different menus. Even you have this composition toolbar where you have this image button, table button, form button, CSS button. So to quickly use those options, you don't even need to go to menu. So these are the different options you need to remember before we move further with chapter 3, creating e-commerce website, a simple e-commerce website. So till next lecture, take care. Bye bye. So we saw table properties dialog box with the table tab where there is a size option, border and spacing option, table alignment option, caption and background color option. And in sales tab we have selection, size, content alignment, cell style, text wrap and background color. We also saw image properties dialog box where we had 4 tabs: location, dimensions, appearance and link. Location, we can select image location, we specify tooltip, we specify alternate text if we want, or we can ignore giving alternate text. In dimensions tab, we can keep either actual size of the image or we can have custom size, and we can even decide the constraint whether we want to change the constraint or we want to keep the constraint as it is. Appearance tab, we decide the spacing of the image around text, around when text is wrapped around image. Even we can decide the border size of the image, and we can even align the text to image on 5 different ways. Now let us see the same thing practically very quickly. So first we will work with table and we'll see all the options of table properties dialog box, and then we will see image. So for inserting table, we go to table, insert table, which brings this insert table dialog box where we have 3 options to create table, as you know: quickly, precisely and cell. And in quickly, let's say we select 4 by 2, or rather 2 by 4, 2 rows and 4 columns. So table is created. Now to make this table more meaningful, we go to table properties dialog box by double clicking on the table somewhere or by right clicking and selecting. So we double click here. It brings this table properties dialog box where there are 2 tabs: cells tab and table tab. First we'll see table tab where it says how many rows and how many columns are there and if you want to change it. So let's say I make columns as 6 and apply. So you can see that now there are 6 columns. Then height, let it be as it is, but width is 100 pixels. Instead of that, we say 100% of the window and apply. So you can see that now it occupies the entire browser screen. If you want to make it 90%, let's say we say 90% and then apply. So it occupies 90% of the screen. Then this is for the border, the thickness of the border, more the number of pixels, thicker the border. So apply, you can see the border thickness is increased. Same is for spacing and padding. You know that spacing is the space between 2 adjacent cells. If we change it to 10 and apply, observe the table. Now the space between 2 adjacent cells is increased. Same is for padding. Padding is for the space between content of the cell and the border of the cell. So that because we have not written any content, but at least you can see that the size has changed. Table alignment is left. which we make it center and apply. So now table is in the center. Caption, because we have not written any caption, otherwise we can decide that where we want the caption, above the table, below table, left of the table or right of the table. Right now we select none, and then last is background color. Select that, and let's select this background color and click OK and apply. So we can see the background color of the table. Click OK. Let us save this first. It is asking for the page title. We write page title as table and image. OK. And now it is asking for the file name and where you want to save. So let's say I want to save it on desktop with the name table and image.html. So save this. Let us open that file in browser so that you can see the output in browser also. So this is the output in the browser. Coming back to this, let me write some content here. Let's say I write science here and then double click. Now we go to cells tab and we select cell. You can change the height and width of the cell from here. You can change the content alignment from here. Let's say we work with this alignment. Only thing in cells tab you need to remember is before changing anything, you need to put a tick mark here so that it means that you want to use this particular option. So horizontal alignment, right now it is left, we say center and apply. As you can see, the content is now centered aligned. Same is for cell style, which is normal, or header. If you say header, it will be bold. And then text wrap, it is only when you are writing a lot of text in a cell and you don't want cell width to change automatically and text will wrap around. Background color, if you want to change the background color of this particular cell, then you can just select this and click this and click OK and apply. So as you can see that the background color of the cell is also changed. Can come to this browser and refresh. It is not changed here. The reason is we have not saved the changes in the KompoZer. We saved it now and refresh it. So we can see the changes here. So that is table tab and cells tab of the table properties dialog box. Now next we will insert image. For inserting image, either you go to insert image, you have this image button on the composition toolbar also. So click image button. Let us select one image by clicking on this and let me select this image. So image is selected as I said. You can see the image preview here. The location of the image is written here. URL is relative to page location. Tooltip we write is JPG to PDF, JPG to PDF, and alternate text also we write same, how to convert JPG to PDF, and then click OK. So image is here. To see the effect of tooltip, let me again take you to browser and refresh this. See, as I move my mouse on the image, the mouse pointer, the tail of the mouse will show you the tooltip. That is what we have written JPG to PDF, that is tooltip. And for any reason, this image is not available, then it will say what we have written as an alternate text. Here I change the image, PNG, I just remove G, so that there is no such file available. Saving this, coming back here and refreshing. So image is not available, but it says that how to convert JPG to PDF. That is what we had written in the alternate text, that how to convert JPG to PDF. Let me again make the correction. Then dimensions. Actual size, we don't want actual size, we go to custom size and we say width is equal to 600 pixels. As I wrote 600 pixels width, height is automatically changed to 600 pixels. So click OK and sizes change accordingly. Left width and height both change accordingly. But if I remove that constraint and then if I say width is equal to 800, height is not changing. So now you can see the image is stretched, proportion is not there now. So that is constraint. If you want the image height and width to change accordingly, you click on constraint, otherwise leave it. Appearance, you can say left and right spacing. So let's say I say left and right spacing is 30 pixels. Okay, you can see that now there is 30 pixels on left and right side of the image. If I go and top and bottom, I say 100 pixels. Okay, you can see that the spacing is 100 pixel top and bottom. And finally, border, if I set 10 pixels, click OK. Now it has border with 10 pixels. And alignment of the text, it is only when we write text over here. So this is what image properties dialog box. Link we have not discussed. It is only when you want to create a link for this image and you want to link another file with this. Let's say from one I am linking. Then click OK. This become link now. So save this, you come here, refresh this, and this is link. Now as I click on this, it will open form 1. So if you want to make your image as a link, you can create link also by going to the particular menu of this. So that is link we have created. So now we will create the same website which is given in the textbook, and that is School Plaza website. We will be creating this web page using KompoZer, and mostly we will be creating the same web page. Here and there will be little difference in the images and other things. And for this, first we need to keep all the images ready. So I have already kept all the images ready here. So we can have easily create the web page. So we have these 4 images. I have not collected more images because then process is going to remain same. So we will be creating website with only 3 main product. These products we will not be including all these other products because then process is same and you need to repeat the process. But first we will see how we can create such web page using KompoZer. So let us open KompoZer. As you know, KompoZer is in full screen because I have switched off the site manager. If you want to switch on the site manager, the function key F9 is pressed and site manager is appearing on the screen. But right now, because we don't need site manager, so I have just pressed F9 again and it will be disappeared from the screen. Now the first thing is to insert a table, and for that we go to table, insert table. The very first table we'll be inserting is one by one. You know that there are 3 ways to create table: quickly, precisely and cell. We'll be using quickly and we'll be selecting one by one. So this one by one table is created. Now you know how to go to table properties. We will double click on this, and from table tab we will select 100% of the window and OK. So table width is as big as web page width. So that is how we created the page. Then inside the table, that is one by one table, we will insert another table. So again table, insert table. Now we will insert 1 by 2 table. So that is 1 by 2 table. Why we are doing like this? Just again refer to this. The outside box is 1 by 1 table. In that we have another table, that is 1 by 2, 1 row and 2 columns. In one column we write School Plaza, and in another column we put this image. So that is 1 by 2. For that also we will double click, and now here what we will do is we will create this and we will say 100% apply. So like this it is done. Below that, that is below that 1 by 2 table, we will again insert another table, table insert table, 2 by 2 table. So 2 by 2 table, again double clicking table, and width we will say 100%. Okay. In this 2 by 2 table, in second row, second column, that is this is first row, first column, this is first row, second row, first column, and this is second row, second column. In that, again we will insert another table. So table, insert table, and now we will insert 3 by 3 table. So this is 3 by 3 table. Again we double click on this and we go to table tab and make it 100%. Okay. So this is how the structure is creating. Last, at the bottom, we will create again another table, table, insert table, and that is 1 by 4 table. That is 1 by 4, and the width of this table we will keep 50%. So we will write 50 here and percentage and okay. Now before okay, we will make one more changes, because this table, if you see in the textbook, there is no border, so we say border is equal to 0 pixels and okay. So you see the difference between the borders of other table and this table. Here the border is 0, so border is coming with red or orange color. That indicates that border is 0. So now we have already created the entire structure of the web page. And now what we will do is we will write the content here. On the top this, here we write School Plaza. School Plaza, and then we will make that School Plaza as heading 1. So heading 1, that is School Plaza. We still increase the font so that, and then we make it centered align. Still, if you want, you can increase the font. Then here on the other side, the second box, we will insert image. For that we go to again insert image, and then we select that image of School Plaza, this image, School Plaza image. Now for that you need a tooltip to be given, so that's a School Plaza only we write. Alternate text, the company icon, the icon of the company, that is the alternate text. Dimensions, we say custom size, and custom size we say 300 pixels by 278. It's created. You can even still one more thing you can do, and that is alignment. For alignment to image in the center of the cell, what we do is, or we can align it on the right hand side. That looks better. So we go to table properties, and in table cell we select horizontal alignment. Instead of left we select right and apply, so that image comes on the right hand side, which looks better. So this is School Plaza we have written. Next line, there is some tagline given in the textbook. We will write that, and it says that one stop for all school things, like whatever you need. It is not clearly visible in the textbook, but it says that one stop for all student necessities. So we'll write that one stop for all students necessities. Even this also we select, and we will make it heading 3, so that it is little font will be increased. If you want still more bigger font, you can do that. If you see in the textbook, they have background color, given the background color to this particular cell. So for that we go to format and table cell properties, and in particular cell we select background color, and then we select the color. We select this color and click OK, apply, OK. So background color is also given. If you feel that still you want to make changes in this particular cell according to the size of this, you can again double click on this, and you can reduce the cell width. The width of the cell you can reduce, or you can reduce from here, So you can make changes accordingly as it depends on the size of the image you have, or you can even increase the image size from here. So you can do this kind of fine tuning with your web page. Here we will write categories. For that again we select heading 3 or heading 2. Let's say heading 4, that would be a smaller font. Categories, align it into the center of the, and here we say new arrivals, that also we will keep in the center. So that is how we introduced these two text, that is categories and new arrivals. Here we will now write different categories. Like first we say water bottles, and then after each categories there is a horizontal line drawn. So for that we go to insert and insert horizontal line. Then we write lunchbox, enter, and then again insert horizontal line. And similarly we write different products: school bag, water bottle, lunchbox, enter, and then again we say insert horizontal line. So this way you can write different products. We will not spend time in that, we just write something and then press insert horizontal line. So this way you can insert different horizontal lines. The main content is here to introduce the product image, product name, product price, product to purchase, and quantity. So first we introduce the product like girls pink bag. So for that we go to insert image, click here and select the image girls pink bag, click open. It gives the image properties dialog box. Let us keep all the images same sized. So let us say width is equal to 200, or let's say 300 pixels, and then tooltip we write girls pink bag. Alternate text also we write the same, or just say pink bag and click OK. So it is inserted the picture with the size and specific details. Then we write the name of the product here, girls pink bag, press enter. Price we write rupees 399, and then we add checkbox for purchasing. So for that we go to form field, we select checkbox. The name we give is girls pink bag. Field value, there is no need of field value right now, and then just say OK, and then we write here add to cart. Again we press enter and we insert a text box. So from form we insert text box, that is a form field text, and that is for the quantity. So we say QTY, field name QTY, and click OK, and then here we write quantity. Then double clicking this, going to this table properties and selecting center, apply, OK. So now you can see the product is inserted. Similarly we insert another product here, insert image. Now we select boys blue bag. So boys blue bag, we write tooltip as boys blue bag. Alternate text we write blue bag. Dimensions, custom size we go and we make it 300 pixels and click OK. If you feel that it is smaller compared to the pink bag, you can again double click it and go to the image properties and select the dimension and increase the size like this. Then we come down to the image, we write the product name, that is boys blue bag, rupees 410. Add cart button. For that we go to form field, checkbox, field name, boys blue bag, and click OK. And then here we write add to cart. And then quantity. For quantity again form field, text box. Here we write QTY. OK. And then we say quantity. Third box we go, third cell, we insert bean bag, that is kids bag. We go to insert image, select the image, and this is the bean bag. Here we write tooltip, we write as bean bag. Alternate text also we write as bean bag. Dimensions, custom size, and we write 300. Let's see if need to change the image size. Okay, we need to change it again. Make it 400 pixels. Okay, fine. Then we press enter, and then we insert the text, that is bean bag. Press enter. Rupees 500, whatever it may be the price, or let's say 499. Mostly on website we see the price is like this, instead of 500, 499. And then we insert form field, we insert a checkbox, we say BB for Vim bag. Okay, and then here we say add to cart. Press enter. Again form field, text box, we say QTY. Okay, and we write quantity. If you see one more thing, then there is a default value, initial value 1 written in every quantity box. So let us write that also. We just double click so that we go to the form properties dialog box, form field properties. We write 1 in the initial value. We write 1 so that by default value 1 is written. Again we need to center align this. So select this horizontal, instead of left we write center. Okay, double click horizontal, instead of left we say center. Okay, so this is how we inserted these 3 images. The text is little up and down, that is due to the size and the image size and other things, but that is how we created the page. Same will repeat for another 6 items in these 6 boxes, but we will not be doing it because now process is same. We come here to the table with 4 columns and 0 border, and over there we will write that about us, sitemap, feedback, and contact us. That is what we will write. So here we say about us, here we say sitemap, feedback, and then last we say contact us. Border is 0, so when we will see this in the output, we will not see the border of this particular cell. Then here, just below the 9 products, there is one button inserted. So let us insert that button. Again we go to form field. Instead of now text, we will select button, a user defined button. So we select button. Field name, we say PB, that is purchase button. Field value, we will write as purchase and click OK. Before clicking OK, we will go to advanced edit, and in that we will write JavaScript event, and event we will select as on click. So on click, matlab whenever user clicks on this button, it will execute a function onCart. OnCart function will get executed, which we are supposed to write. Click OK. Okay, so purchase button is also created. Let us save this. Before saving, we need to give a proper title of the page. So title we will give as School Plaza only. And because this is the home page of the web page or website, we will save this as index.html. You remember that home page name should be always index.html. So it is saved. Let us open it in browser, this index.html. So this is what we have created the page. Still we'll make some changes which we can easily make, like this main table, that is 2 by 2 table where all these products are also included. We will give a background color. So we double click here and we go to the table we double click on the table somewhere here and we go to the table properties, and in table we select background color, and let's say we select this color. Click OK, apply. Okay, so the background color is given to the rest of the cells. This cell we are keeping blank because they are without border. They doesn't look like a table when we see in the output. And finally, we will give link to all these categories. When user wants to go for water bottle or lunch box or school bags, so we'll create a link. But for that, we are not going to create any pages. We have just demo pages we have created. For example, this is for the water bottle, and let me show you the code for water bottle page. It's a simple code, nothing is there. Head, body, we had given a background color so that we can identify the different pages, and just simple one message we have written, and that the water bottle page is under construction. Please visit after sometimes, and there is a back link. So this back link will be inserted so that user can come back to the home page, and this we will be including in every page. Similarly, we have this for lunchbox page. For lunchbox page also we see the code. It is same, only the background color is different and message is different, and here we include that backlink. So that backlink is included here also. And then we have this, that is this school bag page. We open that also, and almost same thing is written there, and we paste this link for going to the home page. So these three demo pages are created so that we can go to that page from by clicking the link. Now what we do is we create a link for this word water bottles. So we select the word water bottles, water bottle words, water bottles will be selecting, and then right click on it, and there is an option called create link. While creating link, it is asking that which page you want to open when user clicks on this link. So select that file and we will open water bottle page, that is wb.html. Okay, and then there is nothing more to select in this. Okay, for lunchbox also we create a link. You can see that link is created and it is blue color and underlined. And for that we select lb.html, that is for lunchbox this. And similarly for school bag also we create a link. Select the text, right click, create link, click on this folder, school bag sp.html, open. Okay, so links are created. This is just a simple words we had written. Now everything is created. Background colors are also given. Let us minimize this and we open the main index.html file, that is the home page in browser. So once we open the page in browser, you will see the effect of all these links. So click on water bottle, it brings here. User will come to know that this page is under construction, still not created, and as a part of giving the proper link so that navigation is properly given in the website. User should not click on the back button to go to the home page. There has to be proper link given. That is called the best navigation. So for that we had created this link. We click on that and it comes to the index page. Similarly, user goes to the lunchbox page. Again, this page is under construction, and go to home page. And for school bags also, the page is under construction, go to home page. So this is how we have created the home page for the website, and that is index.html, where there are 9 products displayed as per the textbook example. But here we have taken only 3 products. The rest of the products, you know that the process is same. Purchase button also, we are clicking on it, but nothing is happening because we have not still written JavaScript for how that purchase button will work. And as you can see, this table, it doesn't look like table. About us, sitemap, feedback, and contact us. Even you can create a link for all these 4 so that when user clicks on about us, it will take you to the detail about the website, sitemap, feedback, and even contact us. So this is now the final web page as per the textbook. Next, we will see what is the coding, the actual coding, which is given incomplete in textbook, but we will see the entire coding, that how this e-commerce website is working and how it brings the bill on screen according to the selection of the user. You can even see the tooltip right now. As I move my mouse on this, it gives the tooltip as girls pink bag. As I move my mouse here, it says boys blue bag. All these are the tooltips which we had given. I have made some modification, some fonts I have increased so that on screen it looks better. Even here I have not inserted the image, but just inserted the space that you will understand that here there were supposed to be another images, but we have not inserted it. As you know, for every product we have product photograph, product name, product price, add to cart checkbox, and quantity box with default value 1 that repeats in every product. And you know that in categories we have all these categories. I have corrected the categories, I have included all the categories, but still I had created link only for the first 3. So that is school bag, water bottle, lunch box, compass box, stationery, files, and folders. So this is what the structure of the home page. Again, there is a purchase button and this last 4 things. Now we'll see the code and we'll see how, while clicking on purchase, it generates the bill for the items user has selected to purchase. It's a quite lengthy code, but remember, half of the code is written by KompoZer. The designing part which we did, the code is written by KompoZer. Only we need to make some changes in that code, and we will see that. First, let us understand from the body section. This is the actual body part where visible content is being displayed. So background color and other things are there. Table is created. You can see the table row, all this thing, cell spacing and everything. This is the first cell containing school plaza with bigger font. Then next line, as you know, one stop for all students necessities. Then next is the image of the school plaza, and that is what this img tag is, including the image for the school plaza. So that is the first row with school plaza title, tagline, and this image. Then next, again another table is created. So you can see the table, and there is categories and new products. So as you can see, categories and new products. And in categories, again we have another table where we have all this link created. Here you can see href. A is for anchor tag, href is the hyper reference. This is sb.html, that is for school bag, Similarly, wb.html, that is for water bottle, and lb.html, that is for lunchbox. So that is what the left hand side we created with limited links. Not all the 6 we had given link, because then process remains same. Then compass box, stationery, files and folder, we have not created link. As you can see here, it is simple file and folder, stationery and compass box. Yes, but unlike this, we have not created link. As here we have created link like this. Here in the last 3 we have not created link. Now the important thing starts, and that is the part where actual products are displayed with their details. So let us see what we have done here over there. The first, we have included the image of girl's pink bag. So that is, this is what the entire thing. IMG style width is this, height is this much. Alternate text is girls, it should be girls pink bag. Save this. So this is girls pink bag. Here also I need to make correction. Girls pink bag. Yes. And this is gpb.jpg. Now the most important thing over here is, this is the name of the product, girls pink bag. Add to cart and quantity, because program or the web page is bothered about only these 2 things, and that is this checkbox and this text box. What we have done over here, we have created a ID attribute. We already understood ID attribute with an example. So the ID for quantity we had given is Q1, and ID for the product, that is school bag, we had given B1. Remember, to make it simple, for first product we had given ID B1 and quantity Q1. Similarly, for boys blue bag, we had given ID B2 and ID Q2 for quantity. And for bean bag, we had given ID B3 and ID Q3 for quantity. So all these 3 checkboxes and all these 3 text boxes has got unique ID. This is ID B1, B2, B3, this quantity box Q1, Q2 and Q3. So that is what all these IDs we had given. And then further we will not go in detail, because we have not included anything. Other products we have not included, just simple image we have included, but that image is not available. Then we have created this purchase button, which is again very important. Over there we say input on click. On click, we are going to execute a function called on cart. Name is PUR, value is purchase. Because value is purchase, here we see the button purchase return. If I say value something else, let's say value, if I say kharido, and if save this, and if I look at the output in the browser, then browser, that button will become kharido. So it is the value defines what display value will be on the button. So purchase would be more meaningful, so make it purchase, and the type is button. So here you need to remember that when user clicks on purchase button, click event triggers, and then it will search for on click, and that is event handler. On click event handler says to execute a function called on cart. So we will see on cart function afterward. And this table, the last table, that is the bottom table, this, as you know, this is a table but with border 0. So that last table, if you observe here, the table where it is created, here it says border is equal to 0. And there are 4 things: about school plaza, feedback, contact us, and sitemap. So that is the entire structure. Remember, we don't need to write this thing. will be written automatically. What we need to write is only this one line, that is purchase button, creating purchase button. That also can be written automatically while creating button, but you need to remember that what function name you are giving for on click. And these three things we need to write, that is ID for product, ID for quantity, similarly for other products. That's it. Nothing else we are supposed to actually type. So this whole code which you see right from the beginning, from body tag here, from here up till end, this entire code is written by KompoZer. Hardly we need to introduce very few things in that manually. Otherwise, this much code is automatically written when we design this page. Nothing we need to write. So that is what KompoZer is doing for us. Now we will go to the function onCart, which is written in head section. Within head section we had written script tag and we have function onCart. So whenever user clicks on purchase button, function onCart will get executed, or it will trigger the event of click and it will execute onCart function. Now remember, when you don't purchase anything, and if you click on, let me refresh it because we changed it to purchase, so refresh it. Okay, as I click on purchase button without selecting any product, it gives me a message that no item selected. So let us see how does browser comes to know that we have not selected a single item. So let us see what is happening in function onCart. First we have created two variables. One variable is check, which having initial value false. Another variable is cookie value with initial value blank. And then we are checking if document.getElement by id b1.checked. Now you understand this because we have already seen one example. So that element whose id is b1, if it is checked, this will return true. And if it is true, control will come inside. But as in our case, in the first situation, we have not selected any of this add to cart checkbox. So for us, this would be false. So control will not come inside this loop. It will check for the second, that is B2, that is for second product. Again, it is not checked. So control will not come within this block also. It will check for B3, that is third product. Again, we have not selected that, so control will not come inside this loop, this block also. Finally, it comes here in if. Here it says if not, this exclamation sign is not check. Now what is check? Check is false. Is you remember, check initial value is false. It is not coming inside of any of this, so it is not becoming true. It remains false. So check is false. When it comes here, it says not check, that is not false, and not false is true, so this condition is true. And because this condition becomes true, it comes inside and it will give a message, alert message, that no item selected. So this is how browser comes to know that user has selected any item or just clicking on the button without selecting any item. So that is first situation. Let us see the second situation. I click on girls pink bag and I type the quantity 10. Even click on boys blue bag, type quantity 10, and on bin bag and quantity 10. And then I click on purchase button. Now as I click on purchase button, as you can see, I have this bill prepared where it says the product name, that is description, price of the product, quantity of the product, and total of that particular item. Similarly, it gives the total of the total quantities purchased and grand total of the amount which is supposed to be paid. So total 30 quantities purchased and total amount to be paid is 13,080. How does this bill is prepared? So this is something which I have copied from the browser, which I want to explain to you that how browser comes to know that which item we have purchased and how the bill is prepared. So this is Just I pasted in Notepad to make you understand the process of preparing bill. Now as you know, this is the bill which is prepared by website. How this bill is prepared we'll see in the code. Now we'll come to here again, because again we are clicking on purchase button. As we click on purchase button, it will come to on cart function. Now again it takes two variables. Check is false, remember that, and cookie value variable is blank. It checks for the first b1, that is the b1 is this. This is the b1. This checkbox is b1, so it checks for that b1. And because it is tick mark, there is a tick mark because now we want to purchase it, so there is a tick mark, so this becomes true. This becomes true, and as it becomes true, control comes inside the block. Now once control comes inside, it makes check true. Where it was false, now it becomes true. Another three variables are created. One is variable quantity, where we store the quantity which user has typed in the quantity box, this box, that is Q1. So we say quantity is equal to document dot get element by id Q1 dot value. Here it is dot checked, here it is dot value. Here it is dot checked because we are checking checkbox. Here it is dot value because we are checking text box, so we need the value written in it. Then price is fixed, it is already given on the website, rupees 399. Total, that is the total amount would be price multiplied by quantity. And then this is very important, cookie value plus is equal to this. Cookie value is the variable which is having blank initially. Here as you see, it is initially having blank. Plus is equal to is a shorthand operator. It is called shorthand operator. It will come in detail in chapter 7, but this is shorthand operator. Let me write here that to explain you. This is just to explain, it has nothing to do with HTML. Suppose if I say a is equal to 5, and if I want to increase value of a by 3, I may write a is equal to a plus 3. Or there is another alternate method where I can say a plus is equal to 3. Both are same. Both the statements are same. The only thing is here we are using assignment and here you are using shorthand assignment. Now when this is useful, especially in this example, it is not useful, because if you observe here you have 5 keys to press and here you have 4 keys to press. But in this particular example it is very interesting and useful, because if you don't use this shorthand assignment, how you need to write this same statement? Let me write it again. You need to write like this: cookie value is equal to cookie value plus girls pink bag, comma, and blah blah blah, all this thing. But what you understood is here I need to write the name of the variable 2 times, whereas here I need to write name of the variable only 1 time. So this method, use of shorthand operator, is useful when the name of variable is quite lengthy and complex, so that you don't make mistake and you don't waste your time in typing variable name again and again. So that is what this shorthand assignment operator we are using. If you feel you don't want to use and you want to continue with this normal style, you can do that also. Let me delete this. That was only to explain you the use of shorthand assignment operator. Now if you observe how we have created this, first we have kept colon, then product name followed by comma. This thing we want as it is in our string, in our cookie. Price is written without inverted comma, so it will not store PRICE, rather it will store 399, which is the value of price. So if you observe here, it stores colon Then girls pink bag, it stores comma, and instead of PRIC it stores 399. Then again we have quantity without inverted comma and total also without inverted comma. So they are again stored as value. Instead of quantity we got 1010, and instead of total we got the multiplication of quantity and rate, that is 3990. So remember, wherever you want to save a string which you want to store as it is, you write it within inverted comma, and wherever you want to store value, you write without inverted comma. This plus sign everywhere, wherever you see this plus sign, is called concatenate operator. It is called concatenate operator, which is used to join two different things. Here we are joining this string with this variable. So because both are two different things, we need to concate them using plus sign. Same way here, we are joining price with comma. Again comma with variable quantity, and again quantity with comma string, and then with variable total. So that is what it is storing in the final string in cookie value. Then we come to second if. Because user has selected second product also, there is a tick mark. So user has selected second product as well third product. So this condition will also become true. So control will come inside, check becomes true, quantity is taken, price is taken, total is calculated, and then cookie value is upgraded with this. Now upgraded with this means it will already having this value. This value will be there already. In that it will add this value at the end. So as you can see here in this, it was already having this value, and then this value is added in particular this. So this is how we are creating or generating the string. This is very important in order to prepare proper bill, because for preparing bill you need all this information: which product user has selected, what is the price of that product, how much quantity user has ordered, and what is the total of that. So that is what this. Then again third, that is for bean bag. This is also true, so it will come inside and will do the same thing which we had explained, which I had explained. This I have written write document.write cookie value is not required, just it was for my reference I had written. Okay, so that is what three different products user has selected, and that is why there are these three things on the cookie under cookie value variable. So let us just click on the purchase button. Prepares the bill like this. If I just go to back, you can see this cookie values written. Fine. Now finally here it comes, this fourth if, which is not check. Now what is the value of check? Check is already true now, because once control goes inside any of this block, this block, or this block, any of this block, check becomes true. So not true is false. Not true is false. And because it is false, it will not display no item selected. Rather it will go to else, and it will execute these three things, where it says document.write cookie value. So the cookie value will be written in the browser's screen. Then document.cookie. Now here this cookie is actual element of browser. જે તમે cookie જેને cookies તરીકે તમે ઓળખો છો. If you don't know what is cookie, let me just simply explain that when you open any form and when you type something, it gives you suggestions which you already typed. As in our case also it was happening. If you remember in form where I was typing the name of username which I had already typed, it gives me the suggestions. So how does browser comes to know about that suggestion? So because those values were stored in browser's cookie, So this cookie refers to the actual cookie of the browser, and what we are doing is our variable cookie value, that value we are transferring to the actual browser cookie. So actual browser cookie will have now all these things stored inside. And then window.location is equal to bill.htm or html. Now we are opening another web page, and that is bill.html. Now what is in bill.html? We will see next lecture. Right now we have just seen that how purchase button is working. We have not still discussed how bill is prepared, but all these things are very important in order to understand that how bill is being prepared. Remember, textbook has not given the complete code, so it is a bit difficult for the students to understand the code from textbook, but here we have given full complete code for the working of the website. So next lecture we will discuss about bill.htm, which is very small file, but there are so many new things to learn. But we will see that how bill is prepared from this data. Bill will be prepared from this data. We need to understand only that much, how that program breaks the entire information, because here this information which you see right now is selected. This information is like one string, one continuous string. Now we need to see that how through JavaScript, how we can break this data into meaningful, so that it gives you the bill like this, which we have already seen. Okay, it says no item selected because I refreshed it. So 10, add to cart, and 10 and purchase. So we'll see that how this particular bill is prepared, and that will be seeing how to prepare this bill. You know that these informations are broken and used in this bill. The same information, same for information for every product: name of the product, price of the product, quantity of the product, and total of the product. Name of the product, price of the product, quantity of the total, and total of the product, and then finally grand total of quantity and grand total of total. We'll see this thing in next lecture. Till then, just see that creating this is very easy, creating design is very easy, and then creating this web page, that is for this is also very easy, because you need to remember only one if. You need to understand only one if. Within this function, you need to remember or understand only one if. Once you understand this if, that doesn't matter whether there are 3 products or 9 products or 100 products, it doesn't matter.
You know that what we had given here is, as I said, ID. So just if you want to refer to those things also, so that you will remember it, that how we had given ID. This ID is, as you can see here, input ID B1, that is for add to cart checkbox, and ID Q1 for quantity box, that is first. Then for second, this ID B2 and ID Q2, and for third we have ID B3 and ID Q3. You know that it remains, then same process remains same. If you want to include other 6 items also, you can include, and you can give ID accordingly. Now we also saw the code where JavaScript is written, and that code shows that how this website comes to know whether user has selected a particular product or not. We had taken these 2 variables, check and cookie value. Check is false initially, and if user has not selected any product, it will come here, and not check will become true. So it will display an alert box saying that no item selected, as in this case right now I am not clicking on any of the checkbox and I am clicking on purchase button. It says no item selected. And if I click on some product and if I write some quantity also, let's say I'm selecting 2 products and I'm writing some quantity, and then if I click on purchase button, it displays the bill. Now let us see how this build is prepared. So for that we have this build.html file. Now if you look at this build.html file, first you know that when this file is called, it is called when user is selecting something, some product. Then observe this, here the last line says window.location build.htm. It can be htm or html. Depends on how you have saved build file. If you have saved your build file with build.html, you should write html here, and if you saved it .htm, you write htm here. So that is what here it says. But before opening that build.htm file, what we are doing is we are transferring this cookie value into actual cookie of the browser, so that that cookie is available in the other screen also. When we move from the one page to another page, that cookie is available on another page also. And now let us see what is there in the build.html file. If you look at the build.html file body section, there is nothing. In body section we have just written onload event, and on onload my fun function will be executed. So there is nothing otherwise in body section. There is event load event, and for that we have onload event handler which will execute the function myfun. And here is the function myfun in the head section, function myfun. Now what we are doing in function myfun, first we are creating a variable with the name cookie array. This ARR is the short form for array, and we are creating a new array. And new array is created, we are creating array. Now let me just quickly brief you what is an array. Array is a group of values, similar type of values. So array is a group of similar type of values, and because we want to store similar type of information, we are creating an array, and the name of array is cookie ARR, that is cookie array. What we are now storing in cookie array? So we are storing in cookie array document.cookie. Now what is this cookie? The cookie which we have moved from here, this, the cookie value which we have moved. So that would be here, stored in the cookie array. And what then we are doing is we are splitting that cookie from colon. Now let me explain that what happens here. So here let us see what happens. We are transferring the cookie array value and we are splitting it with colon. Now what is cookie array value? I have copied in one different file so that I can explain you. Because we have selected two products, girls pink bag and bean bag. Quantity for girls pink bag is 10 and quantity for bean bag is 25. Now the line which you see here, document.cookie, this is what cookie, what you see, this is entire thing is cookie value. So that cookie we are splitting with colon, means wherever there is colon sign, it will be replaced by enter key. So let's say here I select this and press enter. So what happens? It removes colon and in that place it press enter. Similarly here also there is a colon which will be replaced by enter. So ultimately we have broken our line into two data because there are two different products, and to identify those products it was intentionally colon sign or colon symbol was kept before every product name. So now you will understand that why there was colon sign, because we need to tell computer, okay, from this place new product is beginning. But now thing is, what happens is we have three line, we have two products but three line. First line is blank, second line is having first product, and third line is having second product. Let's see how we are dealing with that. So first thing you understood that the cookie array value we have split it with colon sign. Then what we are doing is we say document.writeLine, and then if I want to introduce HTML within JavaScript. So what I am doing is within writeLine I am writing JavaScript as a string. So within inverted comma center table border is equal to 3, width is equal to 50%, background color is equal to cyan. Table header, table heading first is description, second is price, third is quantity, and fourth is total, and then all these things are completed. And then bracket over. Now what will happen? JavaScript will consider this entire thing right from here to this point as a string. And as I said, string, whatever you write in string, JavaScript will not look at that. It will just send that data to browser to be displayed on screen. But when browser will receive this thing, browser will understand that this is not to be printed, rather it is to be given the effect. So it will center align the table, it will begin table, it will have this table header and all these things. So ultimately we are creating the first header row of the table for the bill printing, as in case is this, the first row. So first row is created. Now next what we are doing is we are creating two variables, total 2 and total 3 is equal to 0. 2 and 3, why textbook has taken 2 and 3, I don't understand, but we have kept it 2 and 3. Otherwise it would be easy if variable name is quantity total and grand total. So Q total and G total, because actually it is for this 35 and 16 for 65. It is for that. So third row has second column and third column. So it might be textbook has taken accordingly total 2 and total 3. But the meaningful would have been Q total and G total. Anyway, that's fine. Then we start with a loop, for loop. A for loop is used when you want to repeat something again and again. Now remember, you have selected two products, so printing should be repeated 2 times. If somebody else has selected 15 products, printing should go for 15 times. If you go to Big Bazaar and DMart or Pantaloon, your bill length depends on number of products you have purchased. If you have purchased few products, your bill length will be short. If you have purchased quite many products, your bill length would be long. That means the printing has to repeat according to the number of products we have purchased. So that is why we need this loop. Now this loop we are starting with value 1. Intentionally we are starting with value 1 and we are not starting with value 0. The reason is here, as I showed, that the 0th row, because this is an array, as you know, I am just displaying it here like this. It's actually an array. So array always begins with 0. First row number is 0, second row number is 1 and third row number is 2. But because first row doesn't contain anything, so intentionally we are not considering value 0 for the first row and we are starting directly from 1. And then we go up to cookie array dot length. Cookie array length of this is 1, 2, 3. The length is 3. Length is 3. Length means total number of rows. So length is 3. So we say I till value of I is less than 3. That means 2. So our purpose is solved. We want for 1, row 1 and row 2. Rather, this is row 1 blank, which we are not considering, which index number is 0. But we start with 1, that is actually row 2, and 2, that is actually row 3. And that is only 2 rows we are supposed to consider. And I plus plus means every time value of I will be increased by 1. So initially I is 1, remember that. I is 1 initially. Now it will check 1 is less than 3 less than 3 because cookie array length is 3. So 1 is less than 3, yes, it is less than 3, so it will come inside the curly bracket. We are again creating another variable, cookie data. And in cookie data what we are doing is cookie array of I. Now what is I? 1. Split by comma. That means this is 1. And that again we are splitting by comma. So wherever there is comma, it will be replaced by enter key. Wherever there is comma, it is replaced by enter key. Wherever there is comma, it is replaced by enter key. So it will be like this now. The first row will be broken into 4 things because that first row contains 4 different information about product which we want to print. So now it is broken, and as you observe this symbol comma, because we are splitting it from comma. Previously we split it with colon. Now what we do is again we print, but for printing we need HTML, and because we are creating table. So what we do is we write document.writeln, that is JavaScript, and then within inverted comma we write the value for entire row. So what we are first printing, cookie data of 0. Now remember, here we have taken in consideration 0. The reason is this is 0th row when broken into 4 part. Now this is 0th row, this is first row, this is second row, and this is third row. So that will be printed here. That is the first thing, that is the name of the product. Then cookie data of 1, that is price of the product, that is $3.99. Then cookie data of 2, that is quantity of the product, that is 10. And then cookie data 3, that is total of the price and quantity, 3990, and row will get over. So ultimately it will print this row, cookie data 0, that is girl's pink bag, cookie data 1, that is $3.99, cookie data 2, that is quantity, and cookie data 3, that is total, 0, 1, 2 and 3. And then what we are doing is we are updating total 2 and total 3, which is 0. Now we are updating it. We are adding the cookie data 2 in total, in quantity total, and cookie data 3 in total, that is grand total. That is, we are adding this 10 into quantity total and 3990 into grand total. If you look at the function, this is JavaScript function parse float. So parse float function is used to convert string like number into pure number. See, if you remember, this entire thing was 1, then we have broken it. So it's actually a string, even though this looks like 399, this looks like 1010, and this looks like 3990, but they cannot be taken in use for addition and subtraction or any mathematical calculation, because ultimately they are part of string. So to take this into mathematical calculation, to use them in mathematical calculation, we need to convert this into pure number. So that can be done using parse float. So parse float will consider numbers with decimal point, and there is another function called parse integer. Just I'll write here to make you understand that parse integer, which will convert integer number into pure number for calculation. So we are converting both into number, and then we are adding, you know this now, shorthand operator, shorthand assignment operator, and we are adding it into total 2, that is for quantity total, and total 3, that is for grand total. Closing curly bracket will send control back to 4. It will not go to the next line unless and until loop is over. So it will go back to the for loop, and it will come here I++. Now I was 1, I++ will make it 2, so I becomes 2. It will check whether 2 is less than 3. Yes, 2 is less than 3. Again it will come inside. It will create another array with 2, that is cookie array 2, and it will be splitted with comma. That means this line again will get splitted with comma. Wherever there is comma, it will split with blank array, enter key, and it will become like this. And then again we will print all these 4 things using table. So this is how again we are printing it. I am not repeating it, the same process is same. Cookie data 0, 1, 2 and 3, that is, this is cookie data 0, this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. Fine. And again total 2, that is quantity total, and total 3, that is grand total, will be updated by first converting the number into actual number for calculation using parse float. Again control comes here and it will send control back to for loop. Again I plus plus, so now I was 2, I will become 3. It will check here, 3 is less than 3, 3 is less than 3, no, condition is false. So condition is false, so it will not enter into this loop, rather it will be thrown out of the loop in here. And now at the end it is printing a new row where we say th colspan is equal to 2. Now what is colspan? Colspan means this particular column is spanning over 2 columns. So actually there are 2 columns, column for description and column for price. But this particular column is spreading or spanning over 2 columns. So that is because of colspan 2. And then what we print is total. So total word is printed here. And then actually we will print total 2, that is 35, and total 3, that is total of total, that is grand total of this 2, that is 16465. That is printed here. Then we say document.write slash table slash center, break the line. We draw a horizontal ruler with blue color and size 6. So blue color line is drawn once the table is completed. And then we create the button. And that button is input type is equal to button, value is equal to proceed to checkout. But if you see, there is no event written that on click what to do, because that is not possible in curriculum. Okay, user click on proceed to checkout and then bill, how to pay bill online, and that net banking facility and credit card facility comes. That is not possible to do practically without having permission from bank and all the card facility to be attached or to be linked with your website. So it is not possible in curriculum. So there is no event, only simple button proceed to checkout is created, and then things gets over. So if you see here in body section there is nothing, everything is written in within JavaScript, and that is within head section. If you wish, you can actually add here saying like on click, and you can open any web page on click. Whenever this button is clicked, it will open a web page, abc.html or something, and there you can display a message saying that bye bye or thank you for purchasing, something like this. So that is what the final bill preparation program. Let us quickly see again. If I refresh this, let me purchase girls pink bag 15 quantity, boys blue bag quantity 8, pink bag quantity 23, and then click on purchase, and as you can see, this is how the total comes. If you want to see the cookie prepared by this is the cookie. Let me copy it and paste it into this notepad file so that you can see clearly here. So this is the cookie. Remember, intentionally this colon is very important in order to tell that from here we are supposed to break the different products onto different line. So wherever there is colon, we press enter, and next what we have done is wherever there is comma, we are pressing or splitting the string. So we are splitting this string like this. As you know, this entire thing is a string. So even though this is 410, it is part of string which cannot be taken in programming or for calculation. And that is the reason we need to use this function parse float. That is the reason, because first line is blank. For the products, we start product with 1 rather than from 0. Rather than from printing from 0, we start from 1. Product we start from 1, and then here as it is like, and then each product details we start with 0, because for details of this product there are 4 lines, each starting with 0. So that is what You're done.
And the last step in website designing is publishing a website. And you know that publishing means to publish a website means to transfer the web pages which we have created, images which we have included in our web page, other multimedia component and style sheets, that is CSS files related to the website, to a web server from which they may be accessed by the user. Means we upload the website on a server so that everybody in the world can then access and see our website. So the process of uploading all the web pages from our local computer to a remote server is called uploading. And downloading means, the downloading means getting the files from server to our computer. So that is uploading and downloading. We can upload the website from KompoZer if we have an account on the web server. So the very first thing before uploading the website is to create an account on web server on whichever server you want to upload your website. તો જે પણ સર્વર ઉપર વેબસાઇટ અપલોડ કરવી હોય on that particular server we must have our own account. And for that, the ISP, that is Internet Service Provider, it is provider, not provide, R is missing there. So the ISP, Internet Service Provider, offers a limited free space on the web server. So if you just creating a demo website, a simple website just for practice, then you can upload it on the free space which are given by your internet service provider. But for a professional website, you need to purchase a space on a server. Then there are many web hosts or web servers. They provide limited free space to the user, and it may be for limited time period also. So again, this is just for practice. You can find online, there are many servers and many web hosts. They provide free space. So like one most popular server is freeserver.com. So freeserver.com allows you to upload your website free of cost. You don't need to pay any amount. You can upload your website, but then there are certain limitations that they keep your website for certain months, 6 months or 3 months or 1 year. They allow you to upload only a website with maximum 6 pages or 10 web pages or size less than this. So there are many restrictions when the things are free. So for practice, you can definitely use all these free servers. We can register on such web servers and then can avail the free space provided by that particular web server. Now to publish a website, we need to know the settings for the space to set up the system. We need to make some settings. So and for that, we use KompoZer. So first what we do is we open index.html file, and you know that index.html file is the file which is considered as home page, and then we click file publish option from the KompoZer's file menu. So you remember this question is again asked many times in board. Click file publish, which is used to publish our website on server. And as we click on file publish, it will open publish page dialog box, as you can see here. So this is publish page dialog box, and there are two tabs, settings tab and publish tab. Now let us first discuss about settings tab. Settings tab is asking you few information. Like first is the site name. As you can see just below the red circle, where red circle is exactly on that. So site name. Site name is used for internal purpose by KompoZer. It has nothing to do with the server. It is for the reference of the KompoZer software. But there we write the title of the website. So for example, our website is School Plaza website. So we write School Plaza. Next is HTTP address of your home page. As it says in website information, it is asking HTTP address of your home page, because the first page, the home page, that is the most important page which should open when somebody comes on your website. So there we are supposed to write the HTTP address of your home page. and that is used to write actual web address or URL of the home page. Publishing server, the next is publishing server. So publishing server details are provided by ISP, that is Internet Service Provider, or the web host from where we have purchased the web space. If you are using the free space provided by ISP, then publishing server details will be given by ISP. If you have purchased a professional web host, then they will provide you the details about your publishing server. So you get that detail, and that detail is to be written in the publishing server. Then type publishing address. That is, publishing address is the details which we get from ISP. And as you can see here, it is written FTP and then all the school plaza and then other code which will be provided by ISP. If connecting via FTP, if you are connecting to the server through file transfer protocol, FTP, then type FTP address, as in this case it is FTP address. So these many things we are supposed to provide in settings tab of publish page dialog box. The next page or the next tab is the publish tab. Publish tab, as you see, select the site name from the drop down box which you had already written in the settings. So that site name you select from that drop down menu and then enter page title. What page title for the home page or the first page you want to give, that you write. So there we write page title as Welcome to School Plaza. So that is what we have written, for example. So that is page title, and it refers to the title of the page index.html, that is home page. Then down in the file name box, provide the name of the file which you want to open, and that is obviously index.html. So whenever somebody types your website name www.schoolplaza.com, then it will open directly, it will open index.html file. So that is what the file name which you want to open. Then next, if the file is in a subdirectory, you need to provide the path of that directory. But if it is in the root directory, you just write the file name. Then specify the directory for the images if its location is different. So that is site subdirectory for this page. There we are supposed to specify the name of the subdirectories. Sometimes it may happen that a professional website, which is a very big website having so much of multimedia content, many images, animations, videos, audio, other so many things are there. So what they do is they keep all these multimedia components in a separate file, separate folders. So if you have like this, then you are supposed to specify that subdirectory path also. So once you finish these two things, settings tab and publish tab, then you click on the publish button, and then your website will be published on the server which you have specified. And once it is uploaded, it is published, you can view that website from any part of the world. So this is how you publish website using KompoZer. Next topic and the last topic of chapter 3 is other open source web development tools. As you know that we already had introduction of KompoZer, we also saw how we can use KompoZer for creating simple web page. And you know that it is very easy and fast to design web pages using KompoZer because we don't need to write HTML code or CSS code. They are written automatically by KompoZer. We just decide the menu option and other things. We do everything in design tab, and the code is automatically written by KompoZer. Now, as KompoZer is an open source web development IDE, integrated development environment, so we have many other open source web development IDEs also. Not only KompoZer, in market we have many other open source web development IDEs which are freely available and can be downloaded. So some of the other popular web development IDEs are Aptana Studio, Blue Griffon and Amaya. And let us have a quick look at all these three software. The first one, Aptana Studio. Aptana Studio is a powerful open source IDE for building web applications. If you want to build web applications like as you do in KompoZer, Aptana Studio is a much powerful open source IDE. It is even powerful than KompoZer. It provides language support for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Ruby, Rails, PHP, Python, and many more. So it supports many languages, where KompoZer is not supporting all these languages. So Aptana Studio compared to KompoZer is very advanced IDE for developing website. Aptana Studio, it also comes with a large number of additional plugins. You know what is plugin? Plugins are additional software or additional program that gets connected to your software, to your browser, and you can use it then in your designing of the web page. So it has a very large number of additional plugins also. Apart from their normal version, there are many additional plugins which you can download and use with Aptana Studio. Aptana Studio 2.0.5. Now this is the version 8 years old version, because textbook was written almost 8 or 9 years back. So Aptana Studio 2.0.5, which is also known as Aptana Studio 2, is currently used. That currently means in 2000, almost 2000, before 2005 or 6. So currently used to develop web application using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Aptana Studio can be downloaded from www.aptana.com. Do remember this website name. Board is asking this kind of questions also quite often. And then last, Aptana Studio can create projects in PHP, Ruby, Rails or other web applications and web designing software. So I request you go through all these topics, because there is nothing much about Aptana Studio in textbook, and mostly board they ask one question from Aptana Studio also. So it will be from this 6 points only. So just go through these 6 points. Okay. This is the screen for Aptana Studio. As you can see where I have circled, the screen is not very clear because it is scanned from textbook. But you can see you can create project in PHP, Rails, Ruby and web project and other things. So Aptana Studio gives you, when you create new project, it gives you a wizard where you can select that which project you want to create. PHP project બનાવો છે, you want to create Rails project, you want to create a Ruby project, or you want to create web documents project. So that is what Aptana Studio. Next is Blue Griffon. Blue Griffon is also another free open source WYSIWYG HTML editor. What you see is what you get, kind of HTML editor, almost like KompoZer. You can download Blue Griffon from the website www.bluegriffon.org. Just remember the difference. Here it is aptana.com. It's a commercial website. Here it is bluegriffon.org. That is organizational website. Blue Griffon supports languages like English, Dutch, German, Chinese and many more. So you can use Blue Griffon with all these different languages. Again, this version which textbook is discussing about Blue Griffon is 8-9 years old. It might be that present version might be supporting Hindi also. So Blue Griffon, they are trying to provide this software or with all the possible language support. Blue Griffon is an application that provides web developers with a simple user interface. The best part of Blue Griffon is it has got very simple interface. So it is very easy to work with Blue Griffon and very easy to even learn the interface of Blue Griffon. Blue Griffon allows user to create attractive websites without requiring in-depth knowledge about web standards. So like KompoZer, it also allows you to create very attractive websites without having any knowledge of HTML or other things. So that is Blue Griffon. Again, go through these points. Remember that the language support of spoken language is in Blue Griffon. Different language support of computer programming language are supported by Aptana Studio, like JavaScript, Ruby, Rails, PHP, Python, and other things. So that is Blue Griffon, and this is the screen of Blue Griffon where one page is created. One my personal detail page is created with name, surname, email ID, contact, and then final WYSIWYG and source to see the content of the what design you have prepared and what code Blue Griffon has written for you. So you can see, as you can see, compared to Aptana Studio, the interface of Blue Griffon is very easy to understand. But on the other hand, it is not as powerful as Aptana Studio. So that is Blue Griffon. The last is Amaya. Amaya is also another free open source WYSIWYG web editor. But what you need to remember about Amaya is that Amaya software is developed by World Wide Web Consortium. World Wide Web Consortium is an organization that look into the web standards. So that World Wide Web Consortium, in short, it is also known as W3C. They have developed this WYSIWYG web editor software, and that name is Amaya. Free open source, you must be knowing again, once we have already discussed. Open source means you can see the code of this software also. You can even go through the programming that how Amaya software is designed. That is called open source. So all these are open source only. Blue Griffon, Amaya, Aptana Studio, KompoZer, all these are open source software. Let me tell you other open source, popular open source software like VLC Media Player is open source software, Firefox is open source software, Linux operating system is open source software. So means all these open source software means the code of all this software, how this software is developed, that code is also available. It is open for users. So that is open source software. Now Amaya was initially started or developed as an HTML and CSS editor. Simple. It was in beginning it was simply HTML CSS editor like our KompoZer software. But now it has grown into an editor for many XML based system. So now XML is extensible markup language. Later in the advanced version of HTML, that is XML. So initially it was developed only for HTML and CSS, but now it is supporting many XML based system. So you can create again very attractive website with so much of features using Amaya. And because it is supported by W3C, which is a very well-known organization, World Wide Web Consortium, so it has gained very much popularity. You can download Amaya from www.w3.org/Amaya. So again, you need to remember this website name, that from where you can download this Amaya software if you want to practice Amaya software. Remember, there is no C in website name, though www consortium or World Wide Web Consortium, that is W3C, but in their website name it is only www.w3.org/Amaya. So this is how you can download Amaya software from this website. Again, if I hope you remember that Blue Griffon is from www.bluegriffon.org and Aptana is from www.aptana.com. So that's it for chapter 3. Very interesting chapter where we have seen how, if you just quickly go through the entire this thing, then you let us quickly revise this, that planning for a website requires 4 things to keep in mind: purpose of the website, audience of the website, content of the website, and medium of the website. Purpose must be clear. one should know that for what reason we are designing the website. Audience is again very important. We should know that who is going to, which group of people is going to see our website, so that accordingly we can prepare the website content. Content of the website is again most important part of any website. It must be complete and relevant. It should not be ambiguous. Content must be fulfilling the visitors' wish, so that they come to your website again and again. And another very important thing is about content is website navigation. The navigation of the website should also be made as easy as possible, so that people can browse through the entire website very easily. Medium is very simple. As you know, your website must be able to open in different browser, different hardware, different types of computer and different types of devices, so that it can be viewed by anybody using any device, using any software. Then we saw how we can create a simple e-commerce website, where we create a School Plaza website with all these details, and then when user clicks on purchase button, as shown here, the purchase button, it will generate this kind of bill. So that is, for that we used table, and for creating table we go to insert table, so that it will open this insert table dialog box, where there are three methods to create table: quickly, precisely and cell. So we generally select quickly option, because as the word says, you can create very quickly the table. Then homepage of the website, as you know, the name of the homepage must be index.html, so that when user types the URL, that is www.schoolplaza.com, it will automatically open homepage of the website, and that is index.html file. So that is what homepage of the website. Working with table properties dialog box, and this is table properties dialog box with table tab open, where there are size of the table, borders and spacing of the table, alignment of the table, caption of the table, and finally background color for the table. Cells option, we have selection, where we can select whether we want to work with a single cell, current cell, or we want to work with the entire row or entire column. Size option, where you can decide height and width of the particular selection, cell, row or column. Content alignment can be vertically aligned top, middle, bottom, or horizontally it can be aligned left, center and right. Cell style, you can decide the cell style, whether it is a normal style or it is a header cell. Text wrapping, whether you decide that if the text which you type in a cell is bigger than the cell width, then text will start wrapping around the cell rather than increasing the width of the cell. And then again finally background color of that particular cell, row or column. Working with image, where inserting image, we have different properties of image which can be set using this dialog box. So there image properties dialog box has got 4 tabs: location, dimensions, appearance and link. In location we specify the image location, where exactly that image is lying in our computer. Tooltip is very important, so that when viewed on website and when mouse is kept on that image, the tail of the mouse will show you one text, that is tooltip. Alternate text is also very important. For any reason, if on website image is not being displayed, the alternate text will be displayed. And if you don't want to give alternate text, then you select don't use alternate text. Dimensions tab, we have actual size, if you want to keep the actual size of the original image, or you can go for custom size, where you can change the width and height according to your wish, that what size you want to keep. Over there you have one more option, and that is constraint. If it is selected, if you change width, height will change proportionally, and if you change height, width will change proportionally as per the dimension, original dimensions of the image. But if you remove constraint tab option, then you can have your own width and height, but then you have to be ready that image might get stretched horizontally or vertically if the dimensions are not maintained. Appearance, we have mainly two things, spacing and align text to image. So spacing, you can specify left and right space, top and bottom space, and you can even specify the borders around the image. Align text, we have 5 different options. You can align the image at the top, align the text to image. So align the text on the top of the image, in the center of the image, at the bottom of the image, wrap text to the left of the image, or wrap text to the right of the image. So it's up to you. Link, we have not shown here, but you know that link is used if you want to create a hyperlink of the image. If you want that image to work as a link rather than text, if you want image to work as a link, then you can go to the link option. Then these 3 attributes we had seen for JavaScript, ID attribute, which is same as name attribute, which gives unique identity to the HTML document. Get element by ID method, it is used to access the first element with the specified ID. Whichever ID we specify in the bracket, it will refer to the very first element having that same ID. And inner HTML, it is used to set or return inner HTML of an element which is displayed on web page. So these are the 3 things again which are required in the programming of web page which we are designing. Then this simple example of all those 3 things, ID and get element by ID, and then other things, inner HTML. So as you can see, initially the word computer is written and there is a button change. As you click on button change, that computer text changes to Nayan Shah or Nayan, right? I have made the changes in the text, but the program is old one with Nayan. So it whatever, like if you whatever text you write after inner HTML, the computer word will be replaced by that particular word. And for that we have written function change. And while creating that word computer, where the word computer is written, we had given ID as CHG. And then we are finding out that whose ID is CHG, its inner HTML will change to Nayan. So that is how one example of understanding ID, get element by ID, and inner HTML. Then these options of working with KompoZer, which you need to remember, board is generally asking one of these every year. So just go through all these options of KompoZer, how you can insert table, image, horizontal line, link, and then how you can change page title, how you can publish a website, how you can give text color. So just remember all this. And then finally today we saw how we can publish a website. In between we also saw those 2 big programs where we saw that how exactly that website is working. So that is publishing a website, final things. And then we saw the 3 different softwares, Aptana Studio, Blue Griffon, and Amaya. Aptana Studio once again supports different programming language and can be downloaded from aptana.com. Blue Griffon supports different spoken language and can be downloaded from www.bluegriffon.org. And Amaya is developed by W3C, that is World Wide Web Consortium, which supports many XML based systems and can be downloaded from www.w3.org/Amaya.